Hey guys, Sapphire Yagame with the review for American Horror Story Coven episode 2 review. The episode is titled Boyparts. So we have the episode, we have a lot going on in the episode. We have, kind of starting off, let's see. I'm trying to find, because I normally look at the wiki for, to help me with my reviews in case I ever miss anything, but nobody's really updating these wikis, so I have to find whatever I can find, and I don't. It's just difficult. So we have a situation due from last time with the bus. We know that your girl flipped over the bus, because they raped her and everything. So we have police coming to investigate, Zoe and Madison. Zoe obviously cannot really deal with pressure because they only give them freaking little bit of questions. She just breaks down and saying that she's a witch and we didn't do it. They raped her. Madison's like, no, nobody raped me, and it all just goes crazy. So we have the Supreme come in and pretty much tell the cops, lose her little Jedi mind thing, like, y'all gonna forget y'all ever came about here, or we're gonna have some problems, you know. And she then goes into the room with Madison and Zoe and flings them into the wall, like, we need to stick together, because when strangers come asking questions, we close ranks. And so, with Madison feeling bad for what happened, for, accidentally killing, the boy that, Zoe liked, even though she said that he was going to last anyway because she has Black Widow status, she decides to go to the morgue. And when they get there, we see all the boys that died in the crash, but they are dismembered. Like, they are literally in pieces. They're not even a full body. So I'm trying to figure out, how does it happen in a car crash? Like, you know what? Okay, I really don't want to know. I just thought about it. No, I really don't want to know. So, Madison, who has a resurrection spell, she decides that they're going to take the best parts from each boy, attach it to Kyle's head, and make what she calls the perfect boyfriend. So, my thing is, obviously you girls are not good at your powers, because Madison is always by the Supreme Mother constantly can be considered sloppy. So you want to deal with the resurrection spell? Are you serious? So they do it anyway. They do the circle. They sew them up together. They do the circle. They put the pentagram on his chest. They say the spell. They inhale the thing, and she says the words, and for a while nothing happened. So Madison's like, ugh, well, that sucked. I'm like, really? So she decides to go and wait outside. And we have Zoe, doing her little apology thing. Like, I'm so sorry. I never meant for you to get hurt, and blah, blah, blah. And while Madison's outside, she sees somebody pulling up, and she's like, oh, crap. And she just pretty much leaves Zoe in there by herself and just drives off. So the dude comes in. Obviously, I'm guessing he's like the person who works there. He comes in, he's like, what the heck is going on? So he sees the body, he's like, what the hell? Like, who up in here doing some weird satanic occult? Because all he sees is like salt around the body. He's sewed together. He sees a freaking blood written with a pentagram written in blood. He's like, oh my god, this, to him, all his mind was just going on, like, oh my god, this is satanic. Who's up here doing some satanic ritual? So he then hears a noise. He turns around. He sees Zoe. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And then we finally see the boy Kyle. He gets up, and he's sort of not all there, I guess you could say. I mean, I probably wouldn't be all there too when I got limbs from different boys. I'm just, for last time I think I remember, I was dead and I'm here. So he grunts at the dude and beats the crap out of him to death. Apparently, the only person he could remember is Zoe. So she puts him in the car and drives out of there, and she's like, she just freaking out, and you could just see he's not physically like, he's not physically there. He's like grunting, and his neck looks like all weird. Oh, it's just it's too much. So we have Fiona as the Supreme Mother. We see her and go back to her room where we seen that she pretty much goes to questions, the lady she has in the room, um the Madame Lalaurie. And Lalaurie goes into her situation of how she got to be trapped in this box. So we after the events of Maria Laveau, who's being played by Angela Bassett, gives her the what she thought was a love potion. We find out she wakes up and there's a mob of slaves and Maria Laveau outside. And she's like, she's saying all these words like, get off my, porch, you little, stuff like nigger witch and stuff like that. Cause I was waiting for the N word. I'm like, this is slavery time. I'm waiting for the N word. I'm waiting for the N word. I'm waiting for it. Ah, there you go. There you go. It can't be slavery without that N word. It can't be slavery without the N word. So she asked what her family is, Maria Laveau. Like you said, they never left. And she points up. They didn't hang the family. They didn't hang the family. They hung them, and she's like all upset, and she thinks they're gonna kill her. But Maria Laveau says, "No, your punishment is gonna be way worse than theirs. I gave you the gift of immortality, and you're gonna be buried. You're not gonna be able to age. You're not gonna be able to join your family in the afterlife. You're gonna pretty much stay alive and listen to the world move on around you." So she's been in there for about more than 180 years. So Fiona's like, Fiona decides to go seek out Maria Laveau, who is, since she ended up giving the gift of immortality to Madame Lalaurie. She's like, okay, I'm gonna have to get it for her because obviously Fiona has a thing, she wants to be young and stuff like that. So we go down to the ninth ward to this like beauty shop stuff, and Fiona's character is just like, you never seen you never done white person seen a white person before. She's like, we never have no white people come around here. So then we have another hairdresser in the bag. She turns on some balcony, then they start they just dancing and getting it. And Fiona's face is like, what's going on? What's going on? If you're a white person and you don't know what bounce music is, do not. I would say look it up. New Orleans bounce music. Look up people like Sissy Nobi, Big Frida, Katie Red, Juvenile, Lil Wayne in his earlier years, not his crappy stuff now. In his earlier years, and none of that Miley Cyrus stuff. No, 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 no. You looking for the originals? Go to New Orleans bounce, okay? So, and then we come out with Angela Bassett, the character of Maria Laveau, who don't look like she aged neither. So she tells everybody to leave, and she ends up talking with Fiona. So within this scene between Maria Laveau and Fiona, we have pretty much like this sort of back and forth thing going on between Fiona and Marie. We're going to the history about we go to this whole history thing while Fiona styles herself as supreme. Maria reminds her that her kind only got their powers because of the slave Tituba from slave Salem witch trials. And then Fiona goes into, they kind of going back and forth pretty much about how, who got magic from who. You got, as you know, in terms of, I would say European magic is more, I would say probably most likely trace their ancestry back to the Druids of Gaul, with the pentagram, earth, wind, fire, air, stuff like that. Then you got voodoo, which was, I would say, starts out in Africa, and then with slaves, being transported, to around different places thanks to the slave trade. You have voodoo in Haiti, and then you got New Orleans voodoo, which pretty much is sort of unique within itself because it has voodoo. It kind of combines a little bit of everything because New Orleans itself is just a mixture of a bunch of stuff. It combines Christian saints, I know, voodoo, and I think Native American as well. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure I think that is. So they kind of just going back and forth on who learned what from who, Murray's like, y'all pretty much stole everything up. Civilization started in Africa and stuff like that. That sort of situation. And so Fiona says, "I have something you want," and Maria's like, "There could be nothing you want." There could be nothing you want, and she Maria pretty much laughs when she comes to her. Maria Laveau for gift of immortality. And she realizes that maybe that she's coming to me about this gift. Maria deducts that obviously Fiona's coming to me for a gift from mentality because somehow she must know about it. So that means Laurie must be above ground. So that's so we won't get more into their situation, and then we get more background stories. We have Queenie. We see her working at this little chicken shack. And she, she's it's kind of like a Popeye, I guess you would say. And she's working her doing her thing, and the customer, is complaining saying he don't have. I think he had like 6 pieces of chicken, but he only got 5. And he's saying I need my 6-piece chicken, and she's like I could count, and I'm good at math, algebra, calculus, statistics, all that crap. And he's like, well, yeah, whatever. He starts pretty much insulting her on her weight. I'm like, my thing is that's not really necessary. So he goes and insulting her stuff. And she's like, I know you ate that last piece of chicken and you just trying to get a free piece of chicken. So, he keeps, insulting her. So she gets angry and she puts her hands to the grease. And we know she kind of has that, she's a human voodoo doll. So as she puts her hand in the grease and looks at the man, his hand starts burning. So it makes the news because, one, nobody physically sees her put, oil in the man because there's a bunch of people in the store. They never physically see her do it. But it made the news like, okay, this is like, it's an unexplained phenomenon. So that's how the teacher found about her. We then go over to Nan, who's trying to read a book, but she can't. So, trying to read a book, she can't. So she goes into the other room, unties LaLaurie, and suddenly, like, I can't take it because apparently Laurie's thoughts, are really bothering her. And so when Laurie, gets loose, she sees Queenie, and she's like, obviously, in her mind, obviously she doesn't know that slavery is now abolished, or as Ichabod Crane was saying, Sleepy Hollow, have you been emancipated? she pretty much knocks her over the head and leaves. So as she goes, she ends up going to a house which she said has been defiled by a plague and turned into a museum of horrors. Fiona ends up finding her there and reminds her that what she done in the past is unforgivable. Like, you gotta be, something has to be mentally wrong with you. Because something has to be mentally wrong with you to torture those people like that. I don't care whether you was black or white. Anybody that tortures a person like she did, you have to be physically sick in the head. That's not. I don't see regular people like, hey, I'm gonna skin somebody today. Yeah, really, me too. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna throw some nail, put a hot poker up somebody's butt. That's not a normal thing. That's a sick person's mind. Laurie, who spent 100 years in the coffin, keeps seeing the faces of the daughters hanging from the news. She wants to die, but she knows she can't, and she enlists Fiona's hopes in hopes that the Supreme can figure out a way to let her die. We then see Miss Missy Day, who we thought got burnt alive, but she's not. She happens upon some illegal alligator trappers in the swamp, and she ends up bringing the alligator's life, and they end up killing the people who killed them. And killed them, and we figure out what Missy is later in the show. She's in the back of the car, which had Zoe and the car with Kyle and Kyle and Zoe. What am I doing? Apparently, the resurrection spell that Joey and Matt was working on had drew Missy to the morgue because her thing deals with bringing people back from the dead. So she decides that she's gonna help out Kyle, kind of come together because obviously he's more of a kind of thing going on right now. She uses the magic of the alligator dung to heal Kyle's scars. So Zoe's like, she's gonna leave because probably people in school are gonna be, I'm gonna be worried about her. So Missy asks her if she's gonna come back, and Zoe's like, yeah. I think I covered everything in the episode. I think I did. If I didn't, you guys could just let me know. I'm trying to make these videos short as possible so I don't get a whole flag thing again, but it's impossible because then it wouldn't be like a review. You know what I'm saying? A review is your opinions and opinions on the whole show. A review of it and your opinions on it. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Comment, rate, subscribe. Bye.